Go ahead and get started. It's about 6 o'clock now, so appreciate everybody coming. We got a good agenda here, so let's go ahead and stand for the prayer and the pledge of allegiance of the flag.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today just in gratefulness, thanks. We appreciate you being the loving, wonderful, merciful God that you are. We appreciate all of your blessings day in and day out. We do not let them be overlooked at all. All blessings go to you. Father, you know, in our republic here, we have our elections coming up on Thursday. May you have blessed all of us en route to the polls for safety to and from. And we just thank you for being the creator of all things. In Jesus' most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the agenda. The council has it before us. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda, council? Okay. Hearing none, the chair moves that the agenda be accepted as unanimous consent. Next is the minutes. We've got the minutes of September 24th before us. Is there any deletions, corrections, or additions to the minutes?
No.
Okay, we're good? Okay, the chair, hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Next is the disbursements of October 15th and 22nd. We've had time to review that. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections to that?
No.
Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the disbursements be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, so first on the agenda tonight is introduction of the Director of Royal Economic Strategic Maryland Department of Commerce. Is Carl here?
Yeah.
Yes, come on up. Good evening. Yes, sir. Yep. How you doing?
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good.
All right.
Thanks.
Very good. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah,
Long time no see.
Absolutely. Right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see my
Yeah.
friend Pete up here. You know,
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time together in Maryland Municipal League.
If you don't mind introducing
Yes,
yourself
absolutely.
to everybody.
Yes, my
sir.
name is Carl Anderton Jr. I'm blessed to be here. I have the amazing opportunity to serve on behalf of the governor as the Director of Rural Economic Strategies.
Okay.
We have 16 counties, and so he asked if to go back. Started during this campaign. He said, "Why do the rural parts of the state always come up to me and say that they always feel left out? Don't leave me out. Don't leave me behind." I said, well, "We've just always felt that way." And he said, "Well, we need to fix that." And so we had conversations over the previous year. You know, so what would you do to fix it? I said, "I probably would have someone kind of be your eyes and ears out in those parts of the state." And then he asked if I'd be willing to do it. And I paused for a second. I was like, "You don't want me." But then actually, I thought about it, and I said, "Absolutely, yes, let's take it on." And so, I left my seat in the legislature I'd had for 3 terms. Before that, I served as mayor of Del Mar, president of Maryland Municipal League, and so, I think I have an understanding somewhat of what local governments are looking for in connections with Annapolis. That's why I went to Annapolis as a delegate, because as a mayor, I didn't have that connection with my delegate. So I said, "Well, I'll go do that." And so now we're doing this.
That's great.
And so we've been traveling the state, and so my plan is to spend a lot of time here in Talbot. Actually, I used to work in Talbot. Right out of high school, I had a job with Airborne Express, and Easton and St. Michael's and Oxford and Bellevue was all my area. And Tillman, actually, yes, I had to go all the way to Tillman every once in a while. And delivered a lot of computers to Harold Baines. I don't know what he was doing with all those Dell computers, but that's where we were going. So, so I have an understanding of Easton. Living just 40 minutes away, outside Salisbury, and so I call this, anything, south of the Bay Bridge is home to me.
Yeah.
And so this is home. But we started on the Western Shore, and we started in Southern Maryland. I wanted to start here. on the shore, but I felt it was best probably to start elsewhere, so that way those folks don't see me as, oh, he's just worried about, the Eastern Shore, he's not
Right.
worried about us. And so
Right.
we've been to Western Maryland 4 different occasions since August, and Southern Maryland, and now we're starting to focus in on the shore here. And so I'm looking forward to working with you, your economic development folks who I've met with. I'll be meeting with them again next week here.
Okay, great.
And, the county administration, and seeing what the state can do better to help you facilitate your economic growth,
Sure.
and how the state can just get out of the way. Plus if you have any issues with any agencies, be it State Highway, MDE, I'm more than willing and have been able to go to those agencies on behalf of the local jurisdictions to kind of smooth out any issues that may arise when it comes to economic development.
That's great.
So,
Good.
so far so good. I'm gonna knock on wood, and we're gonna keep going, and I'm looking forward to doing whatever I can to help you all succeed in the way that you want to succeed.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Okay, council?
You want to start on this end?
I can start this end. You want me to start this?
He'll probably
Yeah,
be
okay,
shorter.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I appreciate the effort in your new role. Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Thanks for representing us and helping us out when we need it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, we do have rural economic development challenges here. We're building out broadband across this county. We've broken ground on a new medical center. We've
Yes.
seen business investment here in our new industrial park on the edge of the airport. There's work to be done, and we can't do it without support from the state. So look forward to your support and working with you, and it's good to have a familiar face with the governor's ear. Thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Yes.
Look forward to working with you. Thank you for taking on this task. And with your background, I think that it's going to be a wonderful friendship.
Yep.
We're gonna do our best. Absolutely.
Yep.
So I was excited when I heard that you were going to be the rural
You were
liaison.
not.
I was. I really was. We were on that campaign trail together.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Right on.
And so I was talking to Susan in Dorchester, and we were talking about this. And I know you've heard this across the rural areas about the cut to RMC.
Yes.
So one of the things that I would think as a priority would be how can we band together to ensure that this year we don't have such steep cuts because with it coming from Department of Agriculture and really not, knowing the rural areas. So that's really a part of, you can hear me? I thought you were. Oh, okay. So that would be, a priority. And then being with Commerce, if there's any type of funding for water and sewer for a hospital project, would love to hear your thoughts on that and how we can work with Secretary Anderson to possibly get some funding for Talbot County as it relates to water and sewer for the hospital project, because that's a big project. But congratulations on this position. Glad to have a familiar face and somebody that does understand rural Maryland. Because Honor Bonner Basu always said that there's always 2 Marylands, and that's the rural, and then, of course, the other side. So, yeah. So certainly here to help any way I can, and thank you so much for coming in this evening to introduce yourself.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
As
it.
for the medical center, we all met with the governor's administration last year and all united together to ensure that funding.
That $100
And
million.
so we kind of had to put other projects on the shore on pause to make that a priority. And that was from Somerset to Cecil to do that, because we knew, how badly needed
Right.
that facility was for not only for Talbot, but for the mid-shore as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, the economic driver that it is, the amount of jobs that are generated from that, and the amount of new jobs that will come with this. And so, the governor was here yesterday. And
Yes.
so he is well aware of the priority. It will get built. It is getting built. And
Absolutely.
So those things that are needed to facilitate that will happen. I'm very positive of that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming in tonight.
Yep. And like my colleague said, really appreciate you being here tonight and introducing yourself, and glad you have glad to have you aboard here and working for us, that's for sure.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay.
So on the way out, I'm going to drop, I just got business
Okay.
cards in.
Okay.
So I feel like an expansion football team. We finally got our uniforms. So it has, cell phone number, email address, and all that. So
Yes, sir.
if you're hearing
Yep.
anything with any, like I said, especially with any agencies or anything,
Yep.
just feel
Okay,
free to
be
reach out
glad.
directly,
All right.
and we'll work directly on it.
Sounds great.
All right?
All right.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Hey, no, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is, we've got a new housing coordinator. Brennan, you want to come on up? Yep, okay, thanks a lot. So we've been waiting for this for a long time now.
I know. So we don't worry.
I know it.
Is it
exactly.
It's been 2 years,
I
right?
know it
2
has.
years.
Yep.
2 years.
Yeah, it's
Good
good.
evening, Council.
Yeah.
Brennan Tarleton, Director of Planning and Zoning for the record. With me tonight is our new housing coordinator, Shalunda Collins. We're very excited to have her. She comes to us from being an emergency service coordinator with the Neighborhood Service Center. She started with us in early October of this year. Quickly hit the ground running. She's already started updating our housing page on the Planning and Zoning website that's on the county's website. So if you haven't had a chance, please feel free to go ahead and look at that. She's already taken the liberty of updating a lot of the resources and frequently asked information that we are requested or is requested from us on a regular basis. And her contact information's on there if you all have any questions or have anybody that's looking for housing resources as well. She's very excited. We're very excited to finally get this position filled, and we're excited to see where it's going to go from here. So I'll turn it over to Shalunda and let her tell you a little bit about herself as well.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is Shalunda. Like you said, I came from the Neighborhood Service Center. I was the Emergency Services Coordinator over there for 2.5 years. And I just wanted to change. I wanted to learn more about Talbot County in a whole, and the need for housing in Talbot County. And so I got the opportunity. I came over, and I am eager to learn even more.
That's great.
And try to help the citizens in Talbot County with the housing crisis that we have been facing for a while.
That's great. That's great. So could you tell the public kind of where she's located and how we get a hold of her?
Yes,
Yes.
Shalunda's located in our office where the Department of Planning and Zoning is housed at 215 Bay Street. So you can come there. We're in Suite 2,
Okay.
and she is also within that suite. So feel free to get in touch with
Sure.
her by coming into the office and visiting. Otherwise, her information, contact information, email address, and phone number is all available on the website
Okay, great.
under the housing tab for planning and zoning.
Okay.
And we also have her business cards coming in, so
Good.
I'm sure you'll see
That's
those
great.
being circulated
Yeah.
around as well.
Yep, that sounds great. Okay. All right, council?
You're gonna start with me
I
again?
am.
You know I'm
I
gonna
am.
be a little long-winded
Are
on
you?
this one.
Are
You
you?
can have my time.
Well,
I'll
that's
yield
why,
my
that's why I'm
time to
starting
you.
with you.
I
That's
yield
why I'm
my
starting
time.
with you.
That's why you're starting with me?
Yeah.
You're gonna yield your time to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. No, I'm not gonna be long-winded, I promise. But this was my baby, and I'm so glad that the council agreed to this position coming back. And 2 years it took us to find the right person. Brennan was right there with me, and Donna. I don't know if Donna's in the room. But so excited about this position and what we'll be able to do with this housing coordinator position. There's so much more that the council wants to do as it relates to addressing affordable housing. So there's so much more on the horizon. So, I'm so excited to have you here. So glad. Wanted to come over on your first day, but just got sidetracked just to congratulate you. But I will stop by. Bring you guys all lunch or something like that. But anyway, so glad to have you. And Brennan, thank you so much for hanging in there with us, you and your team at Planning and Zoning, to get this done. So greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome aboard. Look forward to your services and how you'll enhance housing opportunities here.
Thank you.
I remember how impactful having a housing coordinator within county government was when we did have this before. Look forward to, and the need has only grown in that time. So I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything they said. So, welcome aboard. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for all you've already done and all you're about to do, and it's well needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I'll follow up too. Really welcome aboard. Thank you so much for applying for the job and getting the job.
Thank you
And
so much.
Keisha, good job doing this. We've definitely have needed it. We've been up here for a while, so it's a lot of lot of stuff that you can help with out in the county and in the towns and stuff like that. So it's really good to know that somebody now can call and talk to a voice to try to help. And that's what we're here to do, try to help. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And just one more thing to add. Austin Webster,
Sure.
when he was here as the housing coordinator,
yeah.
he actually helped me get to purchasing my first home. So
Oh, that's great.
it
That's good.
was a valuable position, and you'll
Right.
do well. So
Well, that's
thank
what
you.
That's what it's
That
all
was
about.
great.
That's
Yeah,
what it's all about.
absolutely.
And thank you, Keisha, for the opportunity.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
I enjoyed being a part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, opportunity,
Yep.
that's for sure.
Yep,
So-
I'm finding the right fit. So thank you. Wish you the best.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Right. Okay. Next on the agenda is a proclamation of supporting the operations of Green Light for the veterans.
Thanks.
You want that read?
Yep, yeah, I'll let them come up here and I'll get Madam Secretary. Mhm. Yep. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that into the record, please? Yep.
Proclamation supporting Operation Green Light for Veterans. Whereas the residents of Talbot County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served our country and the Talbot County community in the U.S. Armed Forces. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas Talbot County seeks to honor individuals who have made countless sacrifices for freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veterans service officers throughout the nation to help fellow former service members access more than $52 billion in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits each year. And whereas approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian life annually, with 44 to 72% experiencing high levels of stress during the transition from military to civilian life. And whereas an estimated 90% of service members who deploy for military operations and experience or witness a traumatic event are at a higher risk for developing post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and many are at a high risk for suicide during the first year following military service. And whereas various organizations, including the Cambridge VA Outpatient Clinic, Health Care for Homeless Veterans, Maryland's Commitment to Veterans, Perry Point VA Medical Center, Supportive Services for Veteran Families, and the Veteran and Military Support Alliance, VAMSA, provide critical resources across Caroline, Dorchester, Kent, Queen Anne's, Talbot, Worcester, and Wicomico counties. These resources include health care, mental health support, housing assistance, crisis intervention, substance use services, and peer support for veterans. And whereas the National Association of Counties encourages all counties, parishes, and boroughs to recognize Operation Green Light for veterans. And whereas Talbot County appreciates the sacrifices of our United States military personnel and believes specific recognition should be accorded to them. Therefore, be it resolved, in observance of Operation Green Light for Veterans, Talbot County encourages its citizens to recognize the importance of honoring those who made immeasurable sacrifices to preserve freedom by displaying green lights in their place of business or residence from November 4th, 2024 through November 11th, 2024. Given under our hands in the Great Seal of Talbot County this 22nd day of October in the year of our Lord, 2024.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second to go ahead and put the proclamation as presented. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, well, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's great to be back for this
Yes,
this year.
yeah.
So I'm Lisa. I was here last year. I'm the adult population supervisor for Midshore Behavioral Health.
And I'm Ashley Straza. I'm the Recovery Crisis and Services Supervisor for Midshore Behavioral Health.
So
Well,
we're
welcome.
excited to be part of this. We just wanted to note that Maryland is home to approximately 360,000 veterans and an additional 100,000 active military personnel. And Talbot County has the second highest population of veterans in the Midshore. So there is an increasing knowledge that we need to support our veterans and have more resources available to them. So we're very much appreciative of Operation Greenlight. As mentioned, there are some resources. There were some that were mentioned in the proclamation. One of the biggest one we've had recently is 988. We have a specific number, call 988, you press 1, and that is specifically for veterans. And they have access to all the resources as noted, including we do now have a case manager from Shepherd Pratt's Veteran Service Center here in the Midshore, helping veterans and their families with homelessness as well as their behavioral health resources. There is the Cohen Veterans Network, VAMSA as mentioned, the Headstrong Project, Patriot Point. We also have Gregory Bissett who does outreach for the Midshore. He's from the Department of Veterans Affairs, Homeless Services, and Community Integration. So all those resources, we do encourage all veterans to get connected with the VA. There is a wait, but it is beneficial for the amount of resources they get connected to as they utilize these private community resources.
And of course, just as a reminder, we do have our resource guide at midshorebehavioralhealth.org. If anyone needs any further information on resources for veterans or anyone in the community for mental health, behavioral health, or substance use, you can always reach out to us. As the bonus daughter of a veteran, this is a very close thing to my heart, and I'm very honored to be here to share this with Lisa and our veterans today. So thank you.
That sounds great. So do you guys you got some veterans behind you. You guys want to come on up here and introduce yourself?
If I may?
Yes, sir.
My name is Douglas Willie. I'm a past post commander here in Easton, Post 70.
Mm-hmm.
And my counterpart, current post commander, Charles Ng, excuse me. The American Legion's forefront of this issue. Our national commander's mission is be the one to stop veteran suicide. Mm-hmm. Everybody, that is our mission for the last 5 years and moving forward. It will never change. Mm-hmm. There's far too many veterans that are transitioning, even on active duty, are committing suicide. Mm-hmm. And it's up to us to stop it or try to prevent it. Mm-hmm. Just talking to someone, may ask them how are they doing. Just outreach is a main goal. The Department of Maryland, American Legion, state, we are having a gala in April 19th for a Veterans Assistance Program, a transitioning program. We're trying to raise $250,000 statewide to help transition veterans from active duty to civilian life. It's April 19th at the Beaucamp, Maryland Convention Center, so to speak, community center. And just to put that on your calendar if anybody's interested. We have sponsorships, and it's a very worthy program for our veterans. Thank you for the proclamation as a state officer.
Yes,
I do appreciate the county stepping up.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
I am the post commander of Post 70,
Mm-hmm.
newly appointed.
That's good. Congrats.
It's going to be a ride, but I enjoy it.
That's good.
Oh, my name is Chuck Ng. You know me as Butch.
Yeah, I do know you as Butch. Yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly.
But I've grown up.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to run the post as best as I can, and we're having a good time doing it. We got breakfast schedules for Waterfowl Festival coming up, and we have breakfast every Sunday during the winter.
Great.
And we're just hoping to raise some funds and have fun doing it.
That's great. That's great. Well, I appreciate you being here. Yep.
I'm the post commander for Blake Blackston, post 77 up on Glenwood Avenue.
Okay.
To
Introduce yourself.
My name is William Irving Griffin.
Okay.
I'm the commander for Blake Blackston, post number 77. Mm-hmm. We want to take this a little further. I've already been to the Historical Society, talked to Frank Gazal. I am in charge of every telephone pole here in Easton because we're in charge of the hometown heroes. Mm-hmm. So if you got any veteran who wants your picture up on a telephone pole, present, past, and also first line responders, any police officers, anybody who's been passed away. But if you want, and your grandfather, your uncle, if you go through Hairlock and you go through Preston, you see Hometown Heroes.
Yeah.
So I had went to the board and they gave me permission for Hometown Heroes. So if anybody wants to commit anybody that you know who's been served or you want, because they'll be up there for the only way it will come down, they say, is the act of God or a hurricane. So plus I'm also in the cemeteries looking at the Civil Wars veterans. I found 18 Civil War veterans was from a United States colored troop back in 1867. We've already sponsored them, and they're going to be the first ones we put up. But then anybody else, if you can come to 102 Glenwood Avenue and see me. And I want to thank Easton. I want to thank the Historical Society who felt that to honor our veterans and stuff one way or another, and first line responders and police officers to put your picture up there and the families. So that's my project for the town of Talbot.
Okay, I appreciate that. So, Mr. Stepp?
How do you say anything but thanks?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
ladies, thank you for what you're doing for all of our veterans and all your support. Everything you said is well needed. So thank you for that, gentlemen. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your continuing to serve here in the county, and like I said, just for everything y'all do. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'll echo that. Thank you for your service and for all you're doing to raise awareness for veterans' mental health in the week leading up to Veterans Day.
Yep.
I want to thank you. I was married to a Vietnam vet who suffered from PTSD, and it's a very secret problem. And I'm so glad that you've done this work, set up these programs to bring to the forefront to help them. I recognize it and address the issues in a safe and confidential way. So thank you for all you do.
If I may, in the past, World War II, World War I, Korea, shell shock, or
Right.
battle fatigue. And it's just as much a crisis back then than now. But back then, what they deal with it, or whatever, but now there's help available. And it is responsible of us as family members to get them the help, or encourage them to get help.
Yeah.
Because there are facilities and counselors out there, vet centers, Cambridge Clinic, etc.
Yeah. I echo what Ms. Milkey said, having a family member who's a veteran, and the transition, coming out of the military to civilian life was very hard for them, and they live with PTSD right now. And so I truly appreciate all that you do, because it does touch my heart.
Yep. So, and I just want to echo what my colleague said. I can't thank you enough for serving for us and protecting us. That's for sure. And that's with all the vets and all the military. The reason that we're all here is because of you and because you guys are heroes. And I really appreciate what you've done. So come on up here. We got something for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, the next on the agenda is an update from Talbot Humane. There she is. Hey, you, Miss Patty. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Tell us about all this good stuff, okay?
Well, thank you for having me this evening. Patty Quimby, Executive Director of Talbot Humane, Talbot County Animal Control. I want to start out giving you some fiscal year 2024 numbers. I'm a numbers person. I feel like that's the best way people can see what we're doing. So, intake of animals, fiscal year 24, 590 stray animals, 454 owner-surrendered animals. 88 animals were requested euthanasia for being ill or injured beyond treatment. Those were personal pets. Only 5 animals were born at the shelter. Makes me very happy. 11 were transferred in from other agencies, and we had 8 confiscations through animal control. Outcomes. We had 622 adoptions, 42 animals died or arrived deceased. 154 animals were reunited with their owners. We had 46 cats trapped, neutered, and returned. We had 87 animals which we transferred to wildlife rehabilitation centers or other animal welfare organizations, and we had 97 shelter animals were euthanized. What I want you to understand is these numbers are at 2015 levels. We had not seen this level of intake since then. From 2016 to 2022, we saw numbers decreasing annually. Of course, 2020, we saw a big decrease. That was kind of an outlier year for all shelters. Even if it was only a few percentage points, we were seeing a decrease. This is a trend, as I shared when I was here in April, across the country. We're not alone in this. But the good news is, while these numbers are back up to 2015 level, improvements in our programs, our foster to adopt program, training residents who find kittens how to foster kittens, and they keep them until they're ready for adoption, so they're only in with us. I mean, we've had kittens that come in from spay neuter, and they're in the hallway outside of my office, and I go out to snuggle someone that I saw, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna snuggle them, and they're gone. So that's a good thing. You know, our opening our adoption process to be a more conversation instead of a check boxes sort of program. This has all made handling this level of animals much easier and prevented shelter overcrowding. As I said, we're seeing these numbers across the state. I am the president of the State Association of Animal Controls and Shelters. We're seeing shelters who have not had to euthanize healthy adoptable animals do so. They haven't had to do them for upwards of 10 years. We are lucky, and I will knock wood, we are not at that place, and we are continuing to do the hard work to keep ourselves there. We did have 506 animals benefit from the foster care program last year. So that is, again, a huge way animals are staying out of the shelter. Currently, we have 79 animals in the shelter and 37 animals in foster care. This time of year, the numbers start to go down slightly, specifically because kitten season starts to slow down, thankfully. Animal control for fiscal 24. We had 340 calls. Almost 90% of these calls were bite cases, stray animals, or violations of county or state anti-cruelty laws. Of those 90%, 70% of those calls required follow-up visits, contact or further investigation, or court appearances. These initial calls do not include assistance such as transporting pets to the veterinarian for citizens, delivering food or supplies, or doing our rechecks on people who may need a little bit more encouragement to follow the law. Programming. 1,702 animals were spayed and neutered through our program last year. That's shelter and public. I think that may be an all-time high. This year, we celebrate 20 years of our spay-neuter program. I remember working on the spay-neuter bus when we first started doing this program, and I'm very happy that now we take them to a vet and we don't have to do that. But It's been a long time coming, and the 20 years has really been significant in that 48% decline in animal intake over these 20 years, as well as a significant decline in neglect cases that we're seeing. I attribute that very one-on-one. People have resources thanks to our organization, so they aren't leaving animals neglected. They know they can contact us for help. 213 animals received above and beyond care during spay-neuter services. These include, but aren't limited to, wound cleaning, eye enucleations, treatment for infections, and more. Some of these animals have never seen a vet, and they come, and our program helps these owners treat the other things as well. More than 200 intervention services were provided. Again, behavioral or medical includes, but not limited to, we had just recently a dog that had been hit by a car and needed his leg amputated. We helped with that cost, treatment for chronic illnesses such as diabetes or heart issues, assistance with emergency needs such as urinary blockages, behavioral assistance with both dogs and cats, to just name a few. That is over 200 animals that potentially could have been surrendered to the shelter that stayed with their owners. We gave out almost 7 tons of pet food. 1,200 animals, public animals, received microchipping services. We provided end-of-life services to 88 ill or injured pets of private owners, and unlimited supply of litter pans, litter, dog crates. The many things that are donated by our community, we're able to give to people who need them in the community. So we really appreciate our community who's constantly donating things to us because they do not go to waste. A little, I said I like numbers, so our estimated fiscal year expense for the shelter for our above and beyond medical cases this year is $43,000. And our estimated spay-neuter cost for the current fiscal year is $103,000. So that gives you a little idea of the cost of running these programs. For calendar year 2025, we won a competitive grant from Maryland Department of Agriculture. This is our 10th year receiving a grant. This year we will receive $61,000 to spay and neuter Dorchester and Talbot County dogs and cats. This program is in high demand, so anybody out there listening, please don't wait until your dog goes into heat or until your cat has a litter. Call and get on the schedule because we are scheduled out at least 2 months. That's how much this program is used every week. Community partnerships. We love partnering with other nonprofits, our other community groups and organizations. You hear it from me all the time. I say the best shelter is a humane community, and Talbot County and the Midshore is definitely proof of that. Our partnership with Talbot County Schools continues. Any students interested in animal sciences may intern with us in their senior year of high school. This is not only limited to the public schools. Local private schools and homeschooled students are open to this as well. They just need to contact our volunteer coordinator, Megan Dorton. We have an intern right now, and she's learning everything from that sheltering is a lot of scooping litter pans to getting to help clean ears and draw blood and all those things. We welcome our local businesses to come out and do team building days with us. You can come and work at community events or do shelter cleanup days, or oftentimes people come to us with ideas. So come to us with an idea and we'll jump on it. This year we teamed up with Waterfowl. We're doing doggy daycare this year. I know you see so many people traveling with their pets and they want to enter these fine arts exhibits, which would be very dangerous. At least if you took my dogs in there, that would be a nightmare. So they're prohibited from those areas. So Dina and I talked and we teamed up. So we'll be providing some 2-hour stints of doggy daycare for the public who want to go into those events, and it's a fundraiser for us and it provides a service. So we're excited about that. If you're interested in volunteering, contact me. I still need volunteers, everyone. So, and anybody interested in being a part of any of these things, contact the shelter. We are always looking for new friends to join us. November, December, we are busy. Excuse me, next Friday, our pop-up boutique opens again for the 3rd year, and I think it's going to be our best one yet. Not only is there shopping of one-of-a-kind gifts from local artisans and pet supplies, we have raffle baskets thanks to our generous community of businesses, so come see that. Santa's visiting, we have a Paint Your Pet Day, and the famous, I believe this is our 15th or 16th year of doing the cookie walk, will be back. So if you want to buy cookies or bake cookies, come see me. We're all about that. And you can find out everything that we're doing on our website or our social media. One last thing, November is Senior Pet Month, and we want to promote our Seniors Adopting Seniors program. It's not really talked about too much, but it is a great opportunity. I personally prefer the older dogs. I'm not quite technically senior citizen yet, but I much prefer the older animals. I think they know that you've rescued them, and we really would like to promote our seniors who are thinking of adding a friend to come see us, because we do have some senior pets. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Going first again.
going first.
All right. Patty, thank you as always. I mean,
Thanks.
I'll get her. I'll get her here shortly. I'll get her.
No, it's yeah. You do wonderful work. I mean, it's always a pleasure to have you come in here, give us the stats, and I mean, you guys rock. Keep it
Thanks.
up.
We have a great team. A great
Yes,
team.
ma'am.
Appreciate the update. Thank you for your partnership with the county.
Yep.
I have a history with Talbot Humane. I know that you helped my schnitzel 5 years ago cross Rainbow Bridge, and then I adopted Lily Marlene. And it's true what you said about they know they're rescued, because when I first met her at the place, she was like hiding under a chair. And now she is the happiest girl in the world, and I know that she knows how her life has improved, not because of me, but, you know,
Well,
just
you-
because.
I'm sure she's spoiled.
Yeah.
So, a
So
little bit.
thank you for all you, thank you for all you do. And just one other question I have.
Sure.
Is, you talked about the doggy daycare for the Waterfowl Festival.
Yes.
How does that work? Do the volunteers come to?
Yep, so we'll have a
Okay.
volunteer tent, and I'll have volunteers.
Okay.
People will sign up to have a dog sitter. We'll collect their phone number. I'm gonna have a course for the people to walk them out of the area of the actual festivities, and we'll have some crates there so that people can have a safe place for their pets while they go and enjoy the
And
day.
it'll be downtown?
Yep,
Not at?
right
okay.
across, I believe we're gonna be right there close
Closer.
to the armory, so.
Right, okay. All right, thanks. I'll talk to some people.
Well, thank you for coming in, and thank you so much for providing those numbers. I love to hear those numbers and what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. One question I did have, what's the date of the pop-up boutique?
It starts November 1st.
November 1st.
And it'll be every Wednesday through Saturday until the weekend before Christmas.
Okay, until Christmas. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Patty.
Thanks.
You're the best. You knew that. You're the best.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I've got a great team.
Yeah.
They make me look good.
Right. And you're not making me run. You're not making me run, too. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, spring's coming.
I know.
Yeah, he's gonna do it,
Yeah,
Patty.
yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together.
Yes,
We're-
yes.
We're gonna work it
Yeah,
together.
exactly. You try. You go ahead.
Well-
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Ain't
You
that
go
I'm
ahead.
great?
doing it
I've
this
been there
year.
and done all that, you know?
You can do it one more time.
You can do it one more.
Tell
I
her.
know
Yeah, that's
it.
right. One more time.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Okay, all right. Next on the agenda, we got presentation with the Talbot First. Brian, you want to come on up with your team? We've got Talbot County Department of Emergency Services, and we got EMS Division, and we got everybody.
We've got everybody
We got
this
everybody. We got everybody. Yep.
So first off, thank you guys for having us this evening to present to you a new program that's been in the works for quite some time. So this is a Talbot First, which is a first responder support team. It's one of the first in the state and very unique. So every day people call 911 and they have a crisis. Nobody really calls 911 when they're having a good day. And they never call to say hi. Well, a few of them, but not many. So when they call 911, they're in crisis. They're in some of the worst and darkest times of their lives typically. And then our responders go out, all of our public safety network goes out, and we take care of that crisis and we manage that for them. Eventually that takes a toll on our first responders. So this is a group that takes care of the folks that takes care of our community. So I have not been personally, I'm very supportive of it, but not been personally part of the evolution of this. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to introduce a lot of our members and let them come to the table and really talk to you about how this came about and what they're doing for our community, our public safety community. So this is a collaboration between Department of Emergency Services, both the EMS division and 911. And this evening we have Chief Kintop from EMS and we have Chief Gusky here, as well as Lieutenant Diffendaffer. From our volunteer fire departments, we have Chief Sonny Jones. From the Talbot County Sheriff's Department, we have Lieutenant Dobson. From the Easton Police Department, we have Chief Lowry. From the Talbot County Corrections, we have Director Hughes. And for a very special partner that we could not do this without is For All Seasons. And representing them this evening will be Executive Director Beth Ann Langrel and Lisa Lee. So I will invite Matt Watkins, Chief Kintop, and Beth Ann up, and anybody else that would like to join them. And I will excuse myself and let you guys hear from the professionals that have taken care of this. So.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
But thank you guys for the support.
Yep, thank you.
Good evening, I am
Good
Chief
evening.
Kintop. There we go. We can do this. I'm Chief Kintop, EMS Division Chief. I'm here with Matt Watkins, past EMS Division Chief, and with our clinical partner, For All Seasons, Beth Ann Dorman, not Langberla anymore. But we're here to talk about something that's been in the making for about 18 months. It started with Matt. When I started and came in, we were starting to really get into it. And after 18 months, we are happy and proud and just super excited to introduce you Talbot First.
Nice. Talbot
First is a dedicated, first of its kind, interdisciplinary, countywide peer support team. And as you see behind us, we have members and we have steering committee members as well. And we're going to work with active and retired and hopefully with families later. As you had talked about earlier, and I know President Callahan and County Manager Stamp, you know how first responders are always rushing in to help other people. And we sometimes don't talk about the things that we've experienced. And it's really hard with the things that we see, the things that we do, and the things that we experience for our families to understand. And there's always been a stigma, the stigma of you don't want to tell anybody, you know, that you're not dealing with it well because you'll be looked on as weak. And nobody wants to be looked on as weak. We're supposed to be saving everybody. We're supposed to be the people wearing our capes. So what we wanted to do was put this team together so we had peers that could talk to each other and they could relate to each other. And it works up and down the chain of command. And a good example of that would be we could have a 22-year-old, I'm going to call it a kid, that you know is working for us now, and they're not going to relate to me. You know that I've been in the service for so long. They're going to relate to somebody that's more on their level. So we've tried to, in all of these disciplines, try to get people staggered throughout the ranks based on experience, based on other things, including confidentiality and trust. And these people needed to be people that people would come to.
Right.
With that being said, these people were handpicked. First of all, they volunteered. People volunteered. Then they were interviewed and vetted by the whole steering committee to make sure that they were a good fit because we didn't want to lose anybody's trust. So with that being said, we're going to change the culture of that, suck it up, buttercup. We say that a lot, but of keeping things inside and not sharing them. And we're going to give people the chance to get it off of their chest. We are going to, we are trained to visit, to see if somebody's in distress, We want to be able to, for people to come to us. People are going to know who we are throughout the rank structure, and we're going to be able to get them the resources that they need, even if it's just a talk. But if they need additional resources, we'll be able to get them to them. Keeping the utmost confidence and trust is very imperative with this, and we just want to make sure that, you know, everybody knows that we're here, and we're working to make that happen. So we just conducted our first rigorous training in the beginning of October. These members were fabulous during this training, and the training was fabulous, and I would talk to any of them if I needed to. So before any other further ado, I will pass it on to Chief Watkins here, so he can tell you how it got started.
Retired Chief Watkins, hello. For the record, Matt Watkins. I'm with Talbot First now, obviously. Brian and Tina summarized things extremely well, so I'm going to keep my comments brief. But one thing that I would like to come back and double click on is the fact that this is an interdisciplinary group involving all first responders in Talbot County. That is not being done anywhere else in the state of Maryland. And as a matter of fact, it's being done very few places in the country as a whole. So Talbot County should be extremely proud of the fact that we're on the cutting edge of this. And it also speaks volumes, to me, it speaks volumes to the level of commitment of senior leadership of all these different respective disciplines. So this is a very important topic that's been overlooked for many years. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. We face very unique challenges as first responders, and this group hopefully is going to make a positive impact for years to come. Beth Ann Dorman also is with us. I just want to take a moment and just thank For All Seasons for their partnership and their commitment in this program. They've been unwavering partners with us since the beginning, and we would not be as far along as we were if it wasn't for them. So thank you.
Hi everybody, Beth Ann Dorman from For All Seasons, and just so extremely proud to be here tonight and sit alongside our first responder community. You know, it's funny, Clay is sitting across from me, and when I think about where this really probably got its start, although it started over lunch with Matt and Lisa Mulcahy, our Chief Clinical Officer, and I about 18 months ago, I never ever forget the time that I came to speak at the Talbot County Emergency Services when COVID was just starting, and Clay said to me, we're at day 30, never knowing that we would be where we were all of those days later. And as the daughter of a first responder and as the daughter of a veteran and someone who grew up in the first responder community, this has always been something that's been extremely important in my career. And Lisa and I really knew that there was an opportunity for All Seasons to show up in a way where we can not only embed mental health services into this peer support group. You know, when we're talking about all of the entities between 911 dispatch and EMS, the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, and Corrections, we're really talking about how do we infuse mental health services so that it is a daily conversation versus just being the reactive approach at the end. And that's what's really important to For All Seasons in being a partner. And we have walked along this journey for the last 18 months. We were very fortunate to be able to have Dr. Jeff Thompson, who is a retired NYPD detective, come down, provide a 4-day training. And when you say to anybody, please let your staff be free for 4 days from 9 to 5, and everybody shows up in a way of really truly not just wanting to be there but buying into the program, that's a pretty special thing. We are continuing to stay in touch with Dr. Thompson. We are continuing to use him as a resource, and we are very fortunate that when this idea came to us, what I said to Matt was, I'm like, okay, great, this sounds awesome, but how are we gonna pay for it? I do want to give a really special shout out to the Rural Maryland Council, who helped to provide the initial seed money, along with Tim Wyman and his Family Foundation, who said first responders are extremely important. And that was the way that we were able to even make this become a reality. And our goal is that we've trained our first round. Mental health services are not only infused within the program, but we also at For All Seasons have made the commitment to train all of our staff members so that our staff from the front desk straight through to the therapist and the psychiatrist team have now received cultural training in what it means to serve first responders. We want the community to know that when first responders are in need, there is a cultural competency that sits within our team. And so not only do we have the cultural competency, but we also now have the direct referral source. You know, I was listening to the Operation Greenlight and talking about veteran services and the wait at the VA. part of what we've been doing over these last 2 years is creating our open access program so veterans don't have to wait for services, so our first responders don't have to wait for services. There is a clear pathway to same-day services for all of our responders that have served and continue to serve, and include the family members that sit alongside those who are serving. So we're just super excited to be a part of it and to sit alongside, and we're really, you know, part of what we think through is what can we do in Talbot County that sets an example and is used as a pilot project that we can say to the rest of the state, hey, check out what's happening over here on the Eastern Shore, because we've figured it out in a different way than anyone across the state has figured it out. So thank you so much for having us here today. We're super proud of the work that we've been doing, and we really look forward to continuing and figuring out how to create a sustainable model throughout the county and then being able to share this out statewide.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Okay, Council, we'll start with you.
Thank you for a brilliant idea and implementing it. I think it's going to be very successful.
No, I didn't say anything.
I did.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Ms. Dorman, I too made the connection between the Operation Greenlight earlier this same evening and your presentation. The need to normalize the recognition of the need for mental health services, and we hear about this with school students. We hear about this in the field of medicine and healthcare. It makes sense that veterans too need this. It makes sense that first responders too need this. And so I appreciate what you are doing, not only in raising the recognition, but in delivering the services. Thank you.
Serving those who serve. I mean, it's a theme tonight. It's awesome to live in a community that that we can say is where this is happening. So you guys rock. I mean, keep it up, Beth Ann. Listen to your interview with Steve in the morning. Was it this morning or yesterday morning?
This morning.
It was this morning. Okay. I remember. Excellent job. Of just how you guys are stepping in and just helping in our community is fabulous. So please keep that up. All the rest of the guys in the room, all our first responders, law enforcement, you guys, 24/7, 365, answering the call. Thank you. Please keep it up.
Well, I may be long-winded this time.
Okay. Okay.
So I just want to say I am just really impressed by this program. I'm sitting here taking notes, Clay, because what Beth Ann said about being a case study for, you know, the entire state of Maryland, being the first in the state of Maryland, first thing I wrote down was Mako Conference 2025 session panel. I mean, absolutely, this has to get out, you know, as an approach for other counties to really take hold of. So glad RMC gave you the funding, the seed money for this. I am excited about that. But really, for all that you do as first responders, like you said, I mean, that hit so at home when you said, suck it up, buttercup. I've told people that a lot of times. I tell my kids that, suck it up, you know, right? But truly understand where you're coming from with that. I would even sit down and talk to you. I would feel comfortable talking to you. Just how you present it tonight. But seriously, amazing job to the steering committee. Can we have the steering committee stand? Who's all part of the steering committee? Who made this happen? Good job. Good job to all of you. I mean, yeah, Talbot County is amazing. Our first responders are the best. Our police force, I mean, you know, chief, certainly everybody. You know, when you call 911, you want somebody to respond, but you guys need help too. When you make that call, you know, come to respond to that call. So, Beth Ann, you know that I truly do appreciate all your hard work that you do at For All Seasons, at Open Access. Amazing too. I send a lot of people through that program, and I know that what you're saying to us when you present to us is true, because I see people in the community that is using that program. So thank you all so much. Truly appreciate you. Kudos to Talbot First. This program, amazing, and we're going to make sure that it is part of Mako 2025 panel session. I'm going to make that happen.
I'm going to give Mr. Clay a few minutes.
Now he's going to be long-winded.
He
Yeah.
might, he might, he should.
That's right, but go
He
ahead. I
should.
wanna hear
He
it. That's
should.
right.
Number
He
one,
should.
I'm incredibly proud of our team in Talbot County, all of our first responders.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yep.
I'm gonna take my hat off as the county manager right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hat on as the chairman of the Maryland EMS Board. And that oversees, a board of people oversees the whole EMS system in the state of Maryland. And several years ago, we created a roadmap to 2030 for EMS in Maryland. And as all of you may know, Maryland leads the state, if not the world, the nation, if not the world, in the delivery of EMS services. We're very proud of that. And it makes me very proud as the chairman of the EMS board that Talbot County is leading the effort in something that's near and dear to the state of Maryland's heart and mind as well. As a long-serving paramedic myself, and they all know, other responders, the things that we expose our 18-year-old kids to that become EMTs or dispatchers or police officers are horrendous. And we have got to come up with a better way to arm these individuals to deal with these things in a healthy manner and to give them a support system. And right here in Talbot County, the 23 counties in Baltimore City, they've stepped up and they're making it happen first. And it gives me great pride as the chairman of the EMS board, which I'll take back to Baltimore, to brag just a little bit. Very proud of our team. So thank you all for what you're doing. It's incredibly important. Shout out to Lisa Lee. We spent a couple cases she stepped up and made a difference for a community and a group of people that were exposed to some traumatic things, and it's great. So thank you. I'll stop now.
No,
Put my county manager hat back on.
You can put that hat on. You can put that hat on anytime you want. Okay. So, like Clay said, and my constituents here, colleagues, I'm very proud of you to really be able to start something like that. It means so much to this county, and not only that, it's going to do nothing but get bigger and spread. Like you said a little while ago, when I was 18 and got in the fire department, there's really nowhere to turn when you see traumatic things. You know, and you go years and years and years, and it sticks in your head. And you know, you're sort of a little embarrassed to say, you know, as a kid, you know, you're supposed to be brave and everything, and you can't cry and you can't talk and you can't do all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you're enabling young men and young women to be able to do that and know that that's okay to actually do and vent, and because we do see tough things in emergencies, that's for sure. So to really to start something like that is pretty impressive, and you know, I'm proud to be a part of it. And not only, you know, the emergency service, it's the, you know, what you guys do on the police force and stuff. I mean, you guys have had it tough for the last 4 or 5 years, you know, and what you've gone through. Just trying to get help for people to stay with you, and the recruitment and retention of it. I mean, that's another big thing, is just allowing somebody to vent, okay, and talk to you guys, to stay on board that it's okay and it's normal to be able to think that, or whatever the situation is. And Beth Ann, we're so blessed to have you in Talbot County. That's really for sure, you know. You kind of always are around to put those pieces together for us too, you know. So I really appreciate that. And what it reminds me of, and I'm getting long-winded too, is back in, I got back in 84 when ALS started with 7 or 8 people, and 40 years ago. And it feels like this is a new venture of that. And I think Clay is right. I've been around a long time, Clay's been around, and you guys have been around. We've all done it for 30, 40, and 50 years, okay, and 50 years. Right. Yeah, you know. And you know, sometimes you kind of feel like you're out there alone sometimes, and you need to talk to somebody, or, you know, sometimes the stuff that we do feels like it's forgotten. But I want to let you guys know that as long as we're up here, you guys are never, ever going to get forgotten. And because you're our heroes in Talbot County, and we love you guys, and you protect us, and you just keep us healthy. You're there, like you said, 24/7, and we call you, you're there. And Chief, I really appreciate everything you're doing for Easton and the municipalities, and you stepping up to the plate in your role, because you got two roles now. You know, you're taking care of the county and the police. So, and the gentleman right there, what's your name? I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, Sergeant, too.
Yeah, Sergeant. Yeah, I really, I really appreciate everything you do too. I really do, because there's things. Not only are we trying to rehabilitate people that have a tough day and need a couple months to stay and get rehabilitated and go back out. We're there not to just lock them up forever. We're there to help them. We're to help people, and that's what we're all trying to do. So I really appreciate your effort and your commitment to Talbot County in this council, because we really appreciate it. So I've said enough. Thank you, guys.
We have Joe.
Where's-
back there too.
Where's?
Raise your hand.
Oh, okay, Joe. I didn't even see
Our
you.
new
I apologize.
Our new
That's our new
director.
director.
Yes,
That's
sir.
our newer director. So I apologize, Joe. You were hidden. It's Brandon's fault, So now, and congratulations on your new position. We really appreciate you stepping up, and we're very happy for you. The people that don't know that he's taken over the correctional, Joe is.
Can we
Yep.
get a picture of everybody?
Absolutely. Yep. Let's do it. Come on up.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody's gone now. Everybody's gone. Okay. So next on the agenda, eligible for vote. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read 1579 into the record, please?
Bill number 1579, a bill to address conditions of approval imposed by the Maryland Critical Area Commission. For bill number 1544, a bill to amend chapter 190 of the Talbot County Code, zoning, subdivision, and land development, sections 190.25.2, table of land uses, 190-29 commercial uses, 190-29.7 in, and 190-78 terms defined regarding historic inns as enacted by the County Council of Talbot County, Maryland on July 25th, 2023.
Okay. Mr. Thomas, you want to go ahead and bring us up to speed on that?
Sure. So in July of 2023, the council passed bill number 1544, which was a zoning text amendment that amended the code regarding historic inns. Because it involves a critical area, we had to send it to the Critical Area Commission for review and approval. In August of 2024, the Critical Area Commission communicated its approval, subject to the condition that the council formally amend the bill to add a new subsection that imposes additional restrictions on inns located within the critical area. So this bill simply brings forward that formal amendment that the Critical Area Commission requested.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to open it up to discussion for the council. Is everybody good?
Well, we discussed on this before. The The legislation was very narrowly drafted. I think that the risk of unintended consequences here is small. We passed this before. The Critical Area Commission further narrows it. I think that it's perfectly appropriate for us to adopt the language that the Critical Area Commission has provided to us.
Okay. Any other comments?
I agree with
Okay.
Councilman Lesher.
Okay. Yep. Okay, at this time, I think we're ready for the vote. Do we need, okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Okay. All right. Okay, now we're ready for Clay stuff.
Okay,
Yes,
County Manager
yep.
report for this evening. Greetings, County Council. I have a number of items for you this evening under board and committee appointments. The first one I have is regarding the Social Services Board of Directors. We're requesting the appointment of Jacqueline Reyes to the Social Services Board of Directors.
I'll move for appointment.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
The next involves the Tourism Board. We're requesting the reappointment of Mr. Mark Salter, Salter's Chesapeake Gourmet, and Amy Kreiner, Chamber of Commerce. Also requesting the appointment of Patricia McGlannon of Tillman Island Country Store and Chris Agarabi for Ava's Hospitality Group to represent the Bay 100 region. This is for the Tourism Board.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And Council, we're asking your consideration or support to send a letter to the governor supporting the reappointment of Mr. John Murray to the Property Tax Assessment Appeals Board.
I'll move for the letter to be sent for that recommendation.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to send that letter. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Council. And I ask Rich Setter, your director or your golf pro at Hogneck Golf Course, to come forward. We have a request from the Hogneck Golf Course seeking council approval to award the kitchen renovation work to Alto Hartley in the amount of $94,986. This has been budgeted. There's sufficient funds in the FY25 budget to cover. Procurement was followed by receiving 3 bids. Rich is here to answer any additional questions or provide any additional information to you. Hi, Rich.
Good evening, Council.
Hey, Rich. Yep.
Clay?
You look very
Rich.
nice tonight.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Yep.
When I always, come before council, you have to dress well when you're asking for money.
It helps.
Any questions, council?
Nope.
No question.
Okay,
Anything to add, Rich?
okay.
I don't believe so,
Okay.
although it's been phenomenal weather for golf, and I haven't
Okay.
seen any of you out there.
I know. You see me once.
You are so
That's
right.
true.
You see me once. Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice looking tie you got there.
Okay, Council, next I would invite John Horner to come up, and I think Brendan, is Brendan on? No, Ray, you want to come up? So, Council, you're being requested to approve an MOU between the Talbot County and the Easton Utilities Commission to contribute $9.3 million for the extension of water and sewer to the Regional Medical Center project as outlined in the Development Rights and Responsibilities Agreement, which is known as the DRRA, a long-standing agreement. As you all know, we do have that obligation to provide water and sewer to that new exciting hospital that we're building. And so we have John here and Ray who've been working on this with Patrick, and I'd hand it over to John maybe to kick this off.
Sure. Good evening, Council. John Horner, President and CEO, Easton Utilities. As you know, the hospital's been a project that's been ongoing for quite some time, and Easton Utilities, to bring you right up to speed, has agreed to take over the responsibility to design, engineer, and build, and then own, operate, and maintain the water and sewer extension to the new hospital property. Years ago, the county decided that they were going to fund that, and so this memorandum of understanding sets up the funding agreement between the county and Eastern Utilities to take care of paying for that extension with a cap on it to protect the county from having to pay more than a specific amount as declared in the MOU.
Okay.
Sure. Just let the council know, back I think in about 2010, again, Ray Clark, County Engineer, we worked with, I guess, as well as Eastern Utilities in the town of Easton in looking at a water and sewer extension to the hospital property. At that time, the estimate was about $6 million. And then I think for the budgeting purposes, I was estimating about $9 million for the project. And I think through discussions between myself and Eastern Utilities, we felt like it needed to go up to about $9.3 million. So that's where we're at today.
And we all hope that the bids will come in significantly lower.
And we are seeing that on our end with some projects. We have seen that they
Okay.
are coming in a little lower. And I think the other thing too is we'll be working with Eastern Utilities on any potential grant funding opportunities.
Great. Okay.
And of course, Patrick helped craft that MOU, so I don't know if Patrick has anything, and of course, council, you have that in your packet.
Sure.
You've seen it, so.
Sure.
Patrick,
Okay.
anything else?
I don't have anything further to that.
Okay. Any?
Well, I was on the Easton Town Council well over a decade ago when the county, a previous county council, committed the county to this and memorialized it in the Developers' Rights and Responsibility Agreement. Town of Easton signed on to that. Shore Health signed on to that. This is part of our very significant commitment to make sure that the new hospital gets built and that it gets built here. And we're seeing the dirt move already out there. Had a big event this week. This is an important step for us to live up to that commitment. So I'll move approval of the memorandum of understanding.
Is there a second? Okay.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lusher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. All right, guys, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, council.
Yep.
I have a couple of announcements to make. The first announcement is the Midshore Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off Day will be Saturday, October 26th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Midshore Regional Landfill at 7341 Barker's Landing Road in Easton, Maryland. So we encourage anybody that wants to dispose of these types of items to take advantage of that day. And then secondly, I just would like to mention that the second public comment hearing before the Public Service Commission of Maryland on Crockett Solar LLC application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a 61.20 megawatt solar facility in Talbot County, Maryland is on Thursday, November 7th, 2024 at the Cordova Fire Department. And that's at 11864 Kitty Corner Road in Cordova, Maryland. And it is open to the public. And Brennan is here. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, or Patrick, relative to that. If you do, take a moment to do so.
Good evening, council. Again, for the record, Brennan Tarleton, Director of Planning and Zoning. We just wanted to make everyone aware of this public meeting that is advertised through the Public Service Commission to ensure that everyone knows that it is a public meeting that you have the ability to attend. Likewise, my staff and myself have been concurrently reviewing the project as it's been submitted to the Public Service Commission. With that, we've provided some direct testimony comments that will be submitted as part of the record on the county's behalf that you've received for preliminary review to send to the Public Service Commission to make part of the record. Essentially, we've reviewed the application and provided comments based on the county's code for large-scale solar projects. All of the comments outlined in that comment letter are essentially to address any deficiencies or any inconsistencies with the Talbot County Code. And we also included some additional comments related to the fire department's concerns for access roads and access to the battery storage facilities that are also proposed with part of this facility. If you have any questions, I'm certainly more than happy to answer them, but we just wanted to get the word out to the general public that this second comment hearing is going to be held on November the 7th.
Okay, that's great. Good.
Thank you, Brendan.
Yep, thank you.
And then finally, to wrap up the county manager's report, I'd like to just recognize a couple of items for you. First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our roads department under the leadership of Brian Moore. Thank our county engineer who just stepped out of the room, as well as Bramble Construction Company for their work on paving Airport Road, Goldsboro Neck Road, Halem School Road, and Heiners Lane. I don't know if you all have had a chance to get out there and see those roads, but they're absolutely beautiful. Something to get excited about.
Very.
Yeah.
Very
And
exciting.
so I wanted to recognize them for the good work on that. And then finally, I wanted to share that the sheriff has moved into the Mary's Court building officially. So the new sheriff's department, or the sheriff's department, is now located at 28640 Mary's Court in Easton. And we are working to set up the backup 911 center and move the emergency services offices to the second floor. We're looking forward to a ribbon cutting, a building dedication this next spring where the council can cut a ribbon and celebrate the new public safety complex. With that, that completes your county manager report. I thank you for your support, always.
Good job. Okay, all right. So, public comment.
Nobody signed up in advance this evening.
Okay. Was anybody like to come up and say a few words? Yes, sir. Come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again,
no problem.
I attended your meeting 2 weeks ago. My name is Phil Riggin, R-I-G-G-I-N. I'm a resident of Easton Club East.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manager, County Manager, I hope you've rested from your vacation. You were well represented at the meeting 2 weeks ago.
No doubt about that.
She was quite capable. I just wanted to take the opportunity because I didn't. It was on your agenda, and I didn't realize it was going to be on here tonight. But the Operation Green Light for veterans that you folks just passed a proclamation on. I think it's extremely important that everyone in this country take advantage of as many opportunities as possible to recognize military veterans as they possibly can. And I appreciate the fact that the Talbot County is doing it. I assume the city of Easton is doing something in support of all of that as well. It's critically important. I mean, veterans sometimes don't feel appreciated, and sometimes, whatever. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I served in the military. I served in Vietnam. I was an infantry officer in Vietnam, and then shortly after I came back from military service, I devoted the rest of my professional life to military veterans. I served as, at the age of 33, I was appointed the National Legislative Director of the American Legion, which meant I was the American Legion's chief lobbyist in Washington in support of veterans education, health care, all of that sort of thing. And I did that job for 15 years, and then later on went to the Department of Veterans Affairs and served as Assistant Congressional Affairs Director there, doing essentially the same thing. I'm not saying any of that in particular to brag about anything, but I do think I committed my life to veterans, and I still do whatever I can to actively support veterans, and I want everybody, particularly public officials, to do whatever they can to ensure that this group of our society get recognized the way they should be. And the Operation Green Light, I think, is wonderful. Getting the proclamation done 2 weeks ahead of time so people can prepare for it is a very good idea. Smart. Congratulations on doing that. And I want to thank you, and I still I'm happy to pay my taxes, as I told you 2 weeks ago.
That's good, that's good, that's good. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Okay, anybody else like to say anything? Okay, all right. We're wrapping things up. Okay, council comments. Okay. We'll start with my vice president.
Tomorrow, I have the privilege of representing the Maryland Association of Counties before the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority, and a state entity that helps to plan and coordinate and fund heritage tourism around the state. They will be ratifying a new action plan for our regional heritage area, the Stories of the Chesapeake Heritage Area, that covers Kent, Queen Anne's, Carolina, and Talbot counties. So much good thought has gone into this, into guiding and coordinating all of those heritage entities around our area and our part of the state, and we know that is one of the key industries that supports our hotel industry, that supports a number of employers in our area, one of which employs me. So looking forward to that, and I appreciate the privilege of being able to represent us in that way.
Good job, good job.
Thank you.
You're next.
Last Saturday, I think it was last Saturday, the 12th, was Easton Airport Day, which was a huge success. They had Placid Lassie, which was a C-47 from World War II that had participated in Operation Overlord Normandy, which was totally appropriate since this is the 80th anniversary of Operation Overlord. And then the other real big hit of it was the Naval Academy parachute team. So we had a recognition of 80 years of parachutists. And it was well turned out. Everybody enjoyed it. So if you missed it this year, make sure you don't next year. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Riggin is a keeper as a Talbot County resident.
Yeah,
I
yes.
love when he comes up here and speaks and gives us so much positive energy. So thank you for your kind words. And yes, veterans are extremely important. That's all I have for tonight.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all. That's
All
it.
right.
I'm wore out.
We're gonna.
I did send that email
Yeah.
about Mako. Copied you on it. Sent it while I was here. Want to be true to my word.
All right, Mr. Stapp.
Thank you, President Callahan. So I got a couple things here. So last week it was a pleasure and honor to attend our Eastern Prayer Breakfast this year. It was wonderful to celebrate the good Lord with so many elected officials and just community members, and just to have a day of praise. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank our fellow council members who were able to attend as well. In the themes of when you're talking about our veterans, just being that our next council meeting will be after Veterans Day, so I just want to wish all of our veterans out there a happy Veterans Day. I'll call out the Marine Corps too. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't wish my dad, as well as all the other Marine Corps veterans that are out there, a happy birthday. I do know so to do so on November 10th every year. I think it's probably more important than his regular birthday too. So happy 249th this year to all the Marine Corps veterans. Two others, and I'll just continue the thanks just to staff here. You guys are awesome. You make our jobs easy. So just want to say thank you to you all. And the same thing with Nick there behind the computer. You know, he's always the man behind the computer that's bringing this to you guys live as well as recorded. And Diane, you as well. So just a thank you. And since you're typing down there, I just want to make you type Diane is awesome. So, did you type it?
I love it.
All right, okay, cool. So that is officially part of the record. So we have a little fun, but no, just want to thank you guys all for that. So appreciate you.
Okay, we're talking positive stuff tonight, aren't we? You know, and I just, tonight was a great meeting night. That's for sure. Representing, the veterans and Talbot first, and it's, we're really blessed to be in an environment, in a county, in a community really with people like that. That's for sure, that take care of us, to protect us. You know, it's good to be part of it. And, you know, Council, you're doing a good job up here. You know, it's this sometimes is a tough job up here, but with tonight's like tonight, it's well worth being here and being the leaders up here. And, you know, good things are happening to us, and to be able to stand behind all that stuff. So the other positive thing is I'm going to be a pop-up. Yes, 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 yes. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Congratulations.
Now we're talking. Yep. So my oldest son Cole and his new wife, after a year, it's going to have a little girl. So yep. So in April. So we just found out a couple weeks ago. So yep. And I'm going to be a pop-up next year, and my youngest son is getting married next year. We just found that out. So I can see this is a money thing right now. Yeah, that's a money thing coming. I can see that. So, but that's all I got for you right now. So, all right. So, yep. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Les, you want to?
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, November 12th, beginning at 6:00 p.m. The Council will be convening an open session at 3:00 p.m. for a work session on proposed reserve fund policies with our Finance Director, and then adjourning into closed session as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. On Tuesday, October 29th at 5:00 p.m., the County Council will be meeting with elected officials and staff from the towns of Easton, Oxford, Queen Anne, St. Michael's, and Trapp. That meeting will be held in the Talbot County Free Library, Easton Branch Meeting Room, and is open to the public. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
Oh, one thing I meant to say, though. Councilman Lesher is having a birthday this week. So, happy birthday to you.
Oh, and I did forget one thing. I did instruct Mr. Thomas, okay? I would like, sorry about that. I would like to try to do an administrative resolution to move the meetings to 5:00. If you wouldn't mind going ahead and work on that.
So we'll have that ready for introduction on the 12th.
Yes, that'd be
And
great.
vote.
Okay, all right. Mr. Stepp?
Happy birthday, Pete.
Yes.
Okay, happy birthday, Pete.
I know our birthdays were close. They're like a week apart.
That's
Happy
a
birthday,
good
Councilman
one.
Hayes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because we don't want to sing, right?
Yep. Okay, is there a
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky? Aye. Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Have a good night.